things that you should know. New Orleans, who we do it for. Second thing is win, come for L's as far as losing go. It's about now, I couldn't tell you how the future go, but Sean Payton got his eyes on his second Super Bowl. And Alvin Kamara is unreal. 6 touchdowns on Christmas Day, that's how you feel. The defense getting it done this year, and why? Cause the D-line's letting Cam Jordan steer the drive. New Orleans, it's time, can't take a day off. Let's power move straight into the playoffs. Who that?
And here we go from the New Orleans Saints, the NFC South champs headed into the divisional round of the playoffs. A 2-time Super Bowl champion defensive back for the Saints, Malcolm Jenkins. Malcolm, congratulations on making it to the divisional round again. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I appreciate you having me.
No, of course, man. And look, let's get right to it, right? It's round 3 for you guys against the Bucs here, but this team, at least to us, feels a little bit different right now than the team that you guys dismantled back in Week 9. In your prep this week, what have you noticed about maybe the biggest change in this offense here the last few weeks for Tampa?
Well, honestly, I think the entire year you've seen this team really just improve, and adding AB into the lineup. You see that he's a lot more comfortable. Gronk has come on. Early he didn't really get too many balls. Now they figured out how to get him involved, and he's making plays down the field. And you just see Tom really being clean in the pocket and making plays down the field. And if you look over the last few weeks, they have been close, in the high 300s, close to 400 yards passing, pretty consistently. So I think the offense is balanced enough where they're running the ball, a good amount, but the plays and shots downfield, they're doing a great job of just executing and getting those big plays, getting those matchups that they want. And obviously Tom knows what to do with football.
Well, matchups are big, right? And I think we probably get a little bit more caught up in that than maybe you guys do at times. Like, oh, it's going to be Lattimore versus Evans. It'll be, Jenkins versus Godwin or versus AB. How do you look at it when you've got a trio of guys like that? And then you throw Gronk or Scotty Miller in there too. When you've got so many different things that you have to defend in a game like this.
Yeah, I mean, it does become about matchups, right? And because there's too many guys on the field that can win for them to double team everybody. Right. So somebody at the end of the day is going to have to win their one-on-one matchups, whether that's, on the D-line, and that's one of the things that I think has helped us in the past is the play of our D-line, getting after Tom Brady and not having to send, rushers or blitzes, and you can put more resources to coverage. Because they've got, a ton of receivers, tight ends that can really win. But it's going to come down to one-on-one, matchups. That's what it came down to before. In the game before that, we're going to have to win those against a really, really good receiving core, some really solid tight ends, and obviously Tom Brady, who's playing, really, really hot right now.
On that note, Malcolm, you're one of the few guys in this league that can say that you've beaten Tom Brady in the biggest game of the season back in Super Bowl 52, right? So, describe for us, though, what it takes to beat a guy with that kind of experience and that kind of success on this stage.
Well, it definitely takes discipline, because he's somebody who's seen it all. You're not really going to fool him. So it's not about, who can come up with a new scheme to fool the grades, like who can execute and do the simple things, better. And that's what we did, earlier in this year. That's what's got us to this point. And we really don't plan on changing that. It's just how do we execute the plan that we come in, that we think we have and win those matchups. But you go into an understanding that Tom Brady, 1, is going to make plays, and then 2, is always in the game. So you got to finish it out. We've seen him, be dominated for a half and then come back and will his team to victory. So we're going to have to play a full game, complete game too.
Well, Malcolm Jenkins, we certainly appreciate your time, my man. Good luck to you on Sunday evening. Looking forward to it.
I appreciate it.
The league, now 21 years into the league. Tom Brady, you go back to Week 9 in Tampa, he threw 3 picks. The Bucs rushed for a grand total of 8 yards and ultimately fell to the Saints 38-3. Now, this offense has come a long way since, one of the most productive end-of-season stretches of Brady's career, but he is still very aware of what caused them problems in both matchups against the Saints previously this year.
So many great players. Their defense is phenomenal. Top 5 defense basically in every category. Great rush, great cover linebackers. They blitz well. A lot of continuity in the secondary. A lot of ball hawks in the secondary. They've been one of the top teams in the league for a long time, and they've had some tough playoff losses, that are real fluke plays. But other than that, there's not a lot of bad about this team. They're pretty spectacular.
Okay, Scott Pioli still here, adding the Hall of Famer Terrell Davis to the discussion now as we look at this third matchup of the season between the Bucs and the Saints. So, Scott, let's look inside this game for the matchups that matter. What is the matchup that you are looking to that's going to define this game?
To me, it's the matchup between rookie offensive tackle Tristan Wirfs and defensive end Cam Jordan of the New Orleans Saints. You know, Wirfs was one of the top tackles picked this year. He was my favorite tackle coming into the draft, and he has come in and helped them become the fourth best team in terms of letting up sacks. Tristan Wirfs has been a very good player. Now, in the two matchups so far this year against the Saints, he had some matchups against Cam Jordan, and Cam Jordan really didn't have that much production. But Wirfs has had some help. They've used a tight end to help him to get things wider, in terms of Jordan's pass rush, but he has done a good job when he has had to. Again, this past week, Wirfs had some pressure on him because everyone was talking about the Washington pass rush, and he really held his own against both Montez Sweat